I am here to share a story of a 17-year-old girl from Punjab, India. Her parents arranged her marriage with their friend's son who lived in America, October 17, 1987. Like every girl's dream, she hoped the guy her parents chose is going to be a prince of her dreams, maybe on a white horse. It didn't take long for her dreams to be shattered. 3 weeks into the marriage, he beat her because she came back home late from her father's house. That night, that young bride cried all night and also knew where her future is going with him. But her beliefs that you don't give up on a marriage, you make it work no matter what, stopped her from sharing that with her parents or anybody else, because she thought, if you can't change your circumstances, why complain about it? 10 months later, she gave birth to a baby girl. All the love she was looking from her husband, she poured into her daughter. That mother, in front of you all today, is standing right here. I followed him with my 11-month-old girl halfway across the world, hoping for a miracle. I believed he cannot hit me in America. It is not allowed. Boy, I was wrong. He was just as possessive, he was just as controlling, and his abuse was even worse, because now I'm halfway across the world, away from family, away from everybody who can save me. Living in that moment, I gave birth to another beautiful girl. I'm a mother of 2 beautiful little girls, worried how to stay in that and give them a happy life. He beat me for losing a watch. His abuse crossed every limit. One night, I came home back at 11 p.m. with my girls after a party. I refused to cook a meal for his 26-year-old brother. He threw me on the floor, started hitting me with my girls in the room. That day, I was broken to my core. That day, I wished I was dead. That day, I wanted to kill myself. When he was done, I looked at the face of my 2 little girls, confused, crying, and worrying about me. I wiped off my tears, and I wiped off their tears, put them to bed, and told myself to put my act together. You can't be that selfish. You can't even think about giving your life away. Who is responsible for them? Are you going to leave them on his mercy? I just got the courage, prayed really hard to give me strength to live in that marriage. Today, I feel I should have prayed to get me out of that marriage. More he abused, more I prayed for strength to live in it. While living in it, I gave birth to my baby boy. Now I'm a mother of 3 beautiful kids, away from homeland, without a family, completely on his mercy. His abuse didn't end with me. My girls were growing up, and he could not balance the Eastern and Western culture. My girls could not make friends. They could not go out to have fun. And he physically hit them for playing with the makeup. I wasn't going to let that happen. I was not going to lose my children over his control. One night, 1 a.m., he asked me to sleep with him. Sleeping with him against my wishes was the pain that I cannot describe. He pushed me on the floor and really abused me with something in his hand. It was dark, I didn't see. I screamed. My girls ran to save me. I was sitting on the floor. I looked at them and I asked them to go back to their room. At that moment, I looked at in his eyes and said, enough, no more, I am done. It took me 18 years to use those words, enough, I am done. I wasn't going back. I was freed. 2 weeks later, I served him with the divorce papers. He was able to walk away with almost all we had, left me with the debt, home on a mortgage, car with the payment. But also what he left me was with a blessing. He gave me full custody of my 3 beautiful, amazing children. I was the winner that day. I didn't have to fight for them. And I am so grateful for today. My kids are right here with me. I was left with a 40-seat small restaurant, which was hardly surviving for its own expenses. But my girls helped me. We buzzed, we hosted, we managed day in, day out, and we were surviving. I was worried, though, how I'm going to give them higher education, how I'm going to provide them what they deserve. Another obstacle showed up. 2013, that small restaurant who existed for 13 years, my lease ended. I had to move. The fear was I'm going to lose all my customers. They're not going to follow me. What is going to happen? One day, I had to tell myself to shut up and go with the flow. Stop being scared. Obstacles are challenges. You face them, you will grow. Now this mom-pop small restaurant where my daughters and I were the servers, the bussers, the hosts, and everything became a 150-seat fine dine Indian cuisine. We hit the nail in the head Friday night. No soft opening, no experience. Opened the doors Friday night, lines are out the door. And I'm trying to put an order on a POS system, and my daughter, Sheena, is stumbling her feet. Anytime, Mom, customers are waiting. I was like, gosh, paper and pencil was so much better. Change is scary, and I really thought at the moment, I'm going to go back. I'm going to stop this POS system, and I'm going to start taking orders from paper and pencil. 4 or 5 hours later, when night ended, exhausted, fell asleep on a chair sitting at the restaurant. I was to a great start. With my current chef's help and my daughter being my right arm in a business, we thrived. Community support was amazing, and of course, the food was the best around. We made success, living a comfortable life. Now, I have a bigger house. I could provide all those Apple laptops and computers to iPads, to any toy my son wanted. Again, a guilty mother. Give him everything he wants. Success came, everything is there, and a feeling of emptiness and void arrived. It's like, is that it? Is that all you are here for? I think my calling started taunting me. I felt a void that I was not able to fill. Tried to connect with me and asked myself, what is this? You know what it was? I felt so selfish. I felt selfish living comfortably. I was like, there are so many Poonams out there who are struggling to do what I was able to do because of United States of America. Back home, there are kids who are not fed 2 meals a day. There are people who are suffering, and here I am all like stressed up, go to work, drive a luxury car, come home and sleep. No, that's not it. That's when I connected with them, I started living for others. When I started living happily, that was the moment when I thought, there are more problems in the world than just me. This world is way bigger than me, and I need to do my part. February 2017, I founded an organization called Share Care Global. With my brother's help in India, June 20th, 2017, we opened our first food shelter and served 800 people that day. We donated 10% of our gross sales. It took $78,000 to construct that shelter. And I was there for the opening. And I cannot tell you guys, the blessings those people who gave me after having their meal, those little girls and boys around me saying shukriya, means thank you, made me feel complete. That emptiness was gone, that void was filled. That day, I felt, this is your worth. Now you are worth living in this world because you can change the sadness to happiness. 6 months later, I started a women entrepreneurship program where we teach girls skills of sewing, because back home, it's not everything about departmental stores. People still go to stores like Joint Fabrics and make clothes at home. So those girls can make living, those women can earn something to raise kids. About 6 months ago, we took over for 2 below poverty schools. We provide 90 different breakfasts every day for those children, trying to renovate them so they can feel like they're normal kids, not below poverty level school kids. I did not share this abuse and bragged about my charity because I want you to focus on it. And I also do not want you to focus on that arranged marriages are bad. Every parent does the best for their kids. There are so many successful arranged marriages. It's just the being you are united with. Are you compatible? I was not lucky. But the villain of my story made me a hero today. Because when I put the smiles on 400 people a day in India, I do feel like a hero. I feel proud of myself. We can all change this world together. The moral of this journey I shared with you guys is, number 1, is there an obstacle? Is there a villain in your story who is stopping you from being you, from loving yourself, from being authentic? Face it. Tell them, her, him, whoever it is, it's enough, no more. And then, if you are blessed, share those blessings with others. Put a smile on one face, and I guarantee you today, because I have done it to myself, you will feel the happiest. I never felt that happy buying a new car, buying my house, or treating me in a 5-star restaurant. The happiest I feel feeding that little child in my food shelter. When is it enough? You can keep increasing your lifestyle, or you can have a basics met and luxury life, but start changing the world to be a better place for everyone. And we can all do it together. Thank you.